Terry Green of the Terry Green Project, and I'm actually from Washington, D.C. I live in Hamburg, Germany at the moment.
I'm so lost without you. You mean the world to me. It's like the daylight when the night skies fade.
So how is it in Germany, like the whole music scene?
I actually started my music business in Germany, so I don't even know if I would have had a chance to get into it on such a high level in the States so quickly. I came over to Germany in 1992, and I was working a normal job, and then I switched over and met the LaBouche producers, or who would become the LaBouche producers. And then I just kind of stayed in the industry and moved up to Hamburg. I was in South Germany with the military at first, and then moved up. But Germany's it's pretty much more, the music industry is more laid back. People don't think of music on the same level as they do in the U.S. The U.S., it's really, they lead the industry in the music business on how it should be. So Germany's like, music, okay. And then you have to really fight to make sure that they understand its importance. It's a little bit more low-key and laid back.
Shines after the rain. You lifted me up, yeah. This isn't casual affection, 'cause what I feel is real. You got me, I got you, that's all that matters. So glad you are here, that's why I'm lost inside your love. Ready? When I jump up out of bed, I'm thinking about the night ahead.
Who actually inspired you to start doing music?
I would say Phyllis Hyman was the first woman who, when I was young, I could sing in her key to a point. She still had a lot more range, but I knew very young that I didn't have a usual voice. So, I'd already been told my music, my chorus teacher, basically that kind of voice is unnecessary for a female. If you're not a soprano or something like that. It was really kind of crushing to hear that in a young age. But somehow my baby sister said to me, you should just keep singing the way you speak. So I would say Phyllis Hyman, Prince, from melodies and songwriting, I would say Prince and Earth, Wind and Fire, Barry White, definitely. A lot, Natalie Cole and Gladys Knight. Some of those names, people who had these real character, when you heard them on the radio, you knew it was them.
Having a good time. Ooh, ladies first.
My name is Ellie Young. I am originally from a little town called Ashtabula, Ohio. Related to the Staple Singers, just to let everybody know that. And it's a great experience that we had as children at our family reunions. They were awesome. The other thing is, my mother also taught me about bluegrass, which a lot of people look at me like, really? My parents were amazing. And they always taught us to love ourselves first in the music.
Independent artists like yourself out there that's doing stuff that don't really get heard in, the music in the States, and you guys got to go overseas to get heard.
Yes.
It's crazy.
Yes. It is really crazy. I hit it over in the UK and the EU and Portugal, Grenada, and South Africa. And I'm living right here in Maryland. It was just crazy. But you know, I understand. One of the things that I love is about what I do is that I want to take you on a journey. I'm taking you onto the old school and the stuff that people are actually missing in music today, because there is a different hoopla that's going on right now. And I ain't mad at nobody for the hustle. I always say it, but it's just not what the world needs. And I'm not judging. It's just that what we need to do is, you have your Marvin Gaye's, you have your Etta James, you have your Phyllis Hymens, you have your, Diana Ross's, you have your Nancy Wilson's, you have your Aretha Franklin. These are our icons, but nobody's following that. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's following that. But what I'm trying to do as an artist is follow that, as well as Anita Baker's, your Toni Braxton's. I mean, these are the artists that we really need to listen to.
Have any final thoughts?
One of the most important things that I want people to know is always be you. Always do you. And always never take you away from you. Because it doesn't matter what period in your life it is. You're the only you that you have.
Ooh, ladies first.
I'm Carly Harvey
from Washington, D.C.
Please, Mr. J. Love, won't you let my man go free?
So how's the whole music scene out there for you?
It's a really great music scene. I sort of overlooked a little bit. I think people don't think of us as a music city, but we do have a really thriving music scene, especially blues and jazz scenes are really good here. And there's some like random like jam band music scenes. And so we've got a little bit of everything happening here.
How could it be in Frisco? He was home with me. Please, Mr. J. Love, won't you let my man go free?
So they label you as the DC Queen of Blues. How was that, girl?
So every year the DC Blues Society has a Battle of the Bands, and that is the qualifier to go to the International Blues Challenge, which is in Memphis that year. And so my duo won, and whenever a woman wins, they name her DC's Queen of the Blues. So no one has won since my band won in 2016, and then we competed again in 2018. So it's a cool title. It makes me feel like acknowledged, because I've been working a lot in the city for a really long time, and you have a little credential or a little title, people just give you a little bit more attention. So it has helped in that regard, and just helps people to know like who I am and what I do. And so blues is definitely my heart. Sing like one of the most classic blues songs ever, Stormy Monday.
All right.
You know they call it Stormy Monday, babe. Tuesday is just as bad. Oh, now Wednesday's even worse. And Thursday's oh so sad. Because he go, he flies on Friday. Saturday I go out to play. Oh, Sunday rolls around. Lord, I get down on my knees and I pray.
Man, you made me want to pick up a guitar and go dun, 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 dun. And I can't even play.
Ooh, ladies first. Ladies
My name is Gina Kronstadt, and I live in Los Angeles.
So you've been following your dream ever since then?
I'm living the dream.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I'm a lucky girl, and super grateful every day.
Song you sent me, The Thread of Love.
Yes.
How did you come up with the concept and the idea of that song?
Well, all of my songs are pretty true. The lyrics are pretty true to what's going on in my life. And that particular song,
confusion awaits me in morning. Delusion is my way of coping. I see the light surrounding his face. Oh,
developed kind of a crush on a meditation teacher. I was taking meditation classes, and just the words he would speak were so beautiful. He was a wonderful speaker, and I learned so much from him. And so it's actually about this meditation teacher, although I did exaggerate ever so slightly in the lyrics, only because I get to have artistic license if I want. I turned it into more of a romantic thing than it actually was. But the concept of the song, and there's a lot of truth having to do with this particular person.
Good imagination out there. I'm gonna close my eyes and just visualize what you were talking about within that song.
Yeah, all of the songs, there's probably 95% truth, and maybe just a little bit of embellishment, because as an artist we get to do that if we want.
Invite the prize, 'cause it's all that I'm after. The thread of love is almost intoxicating. You sees it in my eyes. Try to be cool, but I find myself waiting for this dream to rise.
So what kind of artist do you consider yourself? Like jazz, blues, like a little mixture of everything?
Ideally, I don't like putting a label on it, but because it's a business, we have to. And so only because really jazz radio plays me, I would have to say I am in the jazz realm. Although I feel like my songwriting and my performances and stuff and the arranging and everything, there's a lot of crossover between, jazz and pop and groove. And I am super grateful that jazz radio has embraced me. Yay! I love it. I'm so grateful that you found me. Wherever I can get the listeners and share what I do with, I'm, just so grateful.
Who'll save you?
Feel music has changed from back then and how it is now?
I like the earlier decades. One reason is because it was before auto-tune. You had to sing in tune or it would be out of tune when you recorded it. Now, people can just tune it when in the mix, and that is a real issue I have. So I think the earlier, before technology got to where it is, which is, maybe the last 15 years or something, I really appreciate musicians who don't use auto-tune to tune a vocal. I also like the organic quality of earlier decades, almost more of the raw feel, which is not too much what this new record of mine is. But I do love the more authentic and organic and acoustic vibes of earlier decades. But I think jazz kind of remains more pure than a lot of other forms of music. And that's, I think, why that's going to last forever.
Ooh, ladies first. Ladies
My
first.
name's Sofia Knežević. People call me Sophie Jazz because my last name is a bit difficult to pronounce. I come from Serbia, but I live in New York. I've been living in New York for a while right now.
How did you get your whole start in music?
Well, my parents are both visual artists, so I was kind of already in the arts world, being around a lot of painters and poets, actors and musicians, so it was kind of all very familiar to me. And then my brother bought an Ella Fitzgerald record when I was about 3 years old, and I totally fell in love with the way she sang and how playful she was with her voice and how it was pure and clean but yet super soulful. That I just started singing at that age, and then from then on it kind of evolved into playing piano and composing and arranging and touring, and it all really came from family.
Tell us a little bit about your music video, Lipstick. Just how you got all that together.
When I put my red lipstick on, I sing. When I put my pink lipstick on, I sing. When I put my blue lipstick on, I sing.
That was really fun. I already knew what I wanted and how I wanted it to show and what kind of music we would do for that particular video. One of my good friends is a great director who's won multiple awards for many of his films. We were kind of hanging out and talking about this visual scene of many beautiful kinds of women that are like beautiful in their own way, that are just being free and confident and independent and just enjoying it. So we kind of went from there and created a simple song that would go with it. We did a casting for the girls. There was, I think, 28 girls altogether. It was done in Serbia, Belgrade. We just wanted to show all that diversity in my country, the beauty of the girls over there, and how confident and comfortable within their own skin they are, because it's kind of our thing. I think we're a small country and it's very women orientated.
All over you. I'll wait a little longer while we are getting stronger. I know it's taking the time to heal. We'll be unstoppable. Don't know what I did it for. I needed to know that it was always real.
Being more independent, or would you ever go with like a major label?
I've been offered contracts by major labels before, and those contracts nowadays are not that great. I mean, everybody's trying to make their money back, and nobody's really buying the records as much anymore. People are kind of living off other things. So record labels are suffering right now, so they're not offering great deals to artists. So I like to keep the ownership of my music to myself. That's my main goal, because I'm trying to build a legacy. It's like I want to leave something behind that is still going to be mine and my family's. I want it to be a part of it. I don't want to just sell out my music and give somebody else the rights to it and then just go and be their artist who goes on the road and represents the label. It's not really my thing. But then again, I mean, if a good deal comes up, I think it's worth doing it.
We are unstoppable. It's just gravitational. We are unstoppable.
Ooh, ladies first, ladies
Jazz
first.
Villay, and I'm from France. Yeah, I live in Paris actually.
Who inspired you to start singing?
My mom.
Oh, okay.
Travel the world, party every night. Be rich, have millions, and when you're wrong, saying you're right. Being alone, being hard and feel strong.
I started singing when I was 11 with the choir of my school, Jazz Big Bang. I remember something really happened. I really remember that. Like first we did our part. The choir sang. It was jazz, essentially jazz music with standards. Ella Fitzgerald and Billie Holiday and all that jazz standards. That's what I was singing back then. And I remember the saxophonist making his solo, doing his solo, and he was so into it. It was like feeling his energy, looking at him playing with his eyes closed, this beautiful solo. I felt something great, and I said to myself, that's where I want to be, that's what I want to do, that's what I want to share with people, this thing, because he has that thing that is really, really precious. Because when I write my songs, like I want to give good energies, and I want to share good things with people, you know? And I want to talk about love, forgiveness, and how precious it is and how important it is to forgive yourself, forgive others, you know, for stay in the light and feed the light. Not even fight the darkness, but feed the light, because if you fight the darkness, you're still in violence and you're feeding the violent thing and you're feeding the darkness. So just feed the light and let it grow, let it shine, so that the dark part get thinner.
I don't deserve. I got my life forever. My freedom is my treasure. Bong biddy bong bong biddy bong bong biddy bang, bong bong biddy bang, bong bong biddy bang, bong biddy bong bong biddy bong bong biddy bang. Bang bang, we're dangerous to them. My brother's mine, I'm coming to unchain. Oh, oh, bang bang, we're dangerous to them, but we're the human race and we fire bonding, we fire bonding.
If you could perform anywhere in the world or internationally, where would you perform at and why?
I would sing in Africa, maybe in Morocco, in my father's country, for the roots reason.
Mm-hmm.
Then I think I would enjoy playing in Brazil, because of the music is so rich in this country, where the music is the richest in the world. It would be amazing to feel the energy there and be with musicians and share things with drummers. Brazilian drummers would be great, and feel this great energy. And would be awesome to sing in a very natural place like the mountains in the middle of nowhere.
Okay.
And just feel the energy of the mountains and, you know, the pure air, and be able to share things with the people who came here to enjoy the vibe, and be just in a pure place. All the people who are listening, I think it's important to just send some love, some good energy, and to like keep shining, even if it's hard, even if the times are really hard right now for everybody around the world, and in different countries, different cities. Share with people, share what you got, share your love, share your energy, and when you give, you're richer.
Ooh, ladies first, ladies first.
My name is Megan Rice, and I am from Chicago, Illinois.
Who inspired you to start singing?
This stage in my life, the thing that really inspired me to really pick up singing again, my husband and I, we were pregnant, and I just kept thinking about these conversations I wanted to have with the baby I was pregnant with, my son, and this idea of being like, you know, you can dream, you can do and be whatever you want. And I just kept having this thought of him one day saying, well, Mama, why didn't you pursue singing? And I was like, wow, like how can I have this conversation to build him up and help him believe in his dreams, and, you know, potentially him one day ask me why I didn't pursue mine. So while I was pregnant, I was like, you know what, I really need to take this seriously and at least step out on faith and do the thing that I love. And if literally the only person that listens to it is my mom, great, I did it. So honestly, that was a big thing. But I think as a kid, I've always loved singing since I was about 3. I'd make up my own little songs, and I've just been singing my whole life. And then I think I just finally, after getting pregnant, I was like, wow, I finally have the courage to to really pursue it for myself and share my gifts, because I think I've always kind of kept them to myself, kind of protected them. I felt really convicted one time, and I felt like the Lord was like, Megan, it's selfish of you to keep your gifts to yourself. And I was like, wow, that's like an interesting concept. Okay.
Earth and the sea, we complement each other.
Do you have any other music in the works?
We do. The next single that we're planning to release is called Caged Bird.
I know what it's like to be trapped behind bars nobody can see. I know what it's like to pretend that your problems are make-believe. I know what it's like.
And it's loosely based on Maya Angelou's poem, Caged Bird. And the next step for that is to get it into mixing and mastering. That's more of like it has R&B undertones, but it's also a very inspirational piece, as opposed to it just being about love. It's about growth as a person and walking through hardships, but eventually knowing, why the caged birds sing. So I'm excited about that. It's very different. And I think each song that I've written for this particular project, every song is different. There's a classical song on there. There's that inspirational song. There's this song, which is more jazz and R&B. Yeah.
Okay, so you're just giving the world just a taste of your music. You're just dropping single by single just to kind of introduce yourself to people. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, girl, man, you have me ready for the whole album after I heard that song. I'm like, hey, I ain't gonna lie, I went online, I was like, man, where her album at, man? I went on YouTube, and man, I was looking everywhere.
I love that.
I know, why the caged bird sings.
Ooh, ladies first, ladies first.
My name is Mary Cross, and I hail originally from Camden, New Jersey as a native.
It may be heavenly, it may be bliss. You can shoot for the stars and still leave, but there's something in the air we can't lose, 'cause we both know, we both know, we both know. In love, there's a reason.
What artist inspires you to actually start singing and actually doing your thing?
Well, initially it was indeed Phyllis Hyman. I loved her statuesque appearance. I loved the hats. I loved the glam and the gowns that she wore, things of that nature. And she always had a classy look. She, Nancy Wilson, Oleta Adams, and CeCe Winans. I love all of those women. They have such a great sound and it's a distinct look that really is their look. That, you know, it's not something that you would be confused about when you saw them or saw their way of however they wore their hair, their clothes, whatever. Their brand was really something that was just their identity. It wasn't like they were trying to be made over into something else. Like, they're really true to who they are, but their voices are distinct when you hear them. Like when you hear Oleta Adams, you know it's Oleta Adams. When you hear Phyllis, you know it's her. CeCe, same thing. You know, she and Whitney did a song together, but you know it's CeCe. So it's just wonderful to see that identity of strong women who just deliver great music. And it's a lot of work for sure. And I constantly say that to people, there's nothing easy about this, and it's not for the faint of heart, but we all have to figure out what it is that is our dream. What do you want to do with your life? And I think it's important to continue to go in that direction, whatever it takes. So there are major sacrifices that have to be made, and I many times am tired, but you know, you have to keep going. And I love what I do. I mean, more than anything, I can tell you for sure, I do love and enjoy performing. And to me, it's just like breathing. You know, I love it, and I love the audience, and I love feeding off of them.
In love as the Ooh, ladies first. Ladies
Rena Janelle. Originally, I'm from Brooklyn, New York.
How did you get started, and what are some of your influences in music?
Just thinking back to when I was a little girl, just music that I was listening to and hearing at home. Definitely Sade, Natalie Cole, even Mariah Carey. There was just so many different female vocalists, especially like I would say of the 80s and the 90s in particular, that really kind of were instrumental in kind of forming, you know, my original impressions on music, and kind of what made an impression on me as far as my style and what influences me. It got me really hungry for especially like classic singers that vocally and have the stage presence and just really be really captivating to the audience. That really pulled me in. And, you know, as a young girl, I was always the one in chorus and singing and doing musicals and all of that. And even went to college on a voice scholarship.
Is this your first project, or you have a couple of albums out? Or?
This is actually my debut single.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, it's a shock to me too, but it's a good shock because I mean, you know, just the visibility and the level of success that Worthy has had is amazing. I mean, I was happy to put my first song and single out there. Just, you know, that in itself is an accomplishment. Just having, you know, to be able to put out quality material and to work with quality people, and you know, just to have anything put out there with your name on it is, you know, it's a kind of recognition and a milestone in itself. But to be your first time out the gate, and then people are actually really feeling what you're doing and being impacted by the music and the lyrics and the production. I mean, it's more than I could have ever hoped for, honestly. I'm so grateful.
Yeah, now that song itself is powerful. When I first heard it, I love how you built the story up. You just kind of went into, you know, the beginning is always good, and then it kind of, you start figuring stuff out, and you're like, hey, you know, I ain't taking it no more. You know, either you gonna be worthy or you gonna get stepping.
That's right. That's right.
Get off the couch. He need to stop cheating. He need to stop doing all this stuff, man. And worthy. So I'm just curious how you came across that song, because it's powerful.
I co-wrote the song with my producer, Benny Pierce. So shout out to Benny Pierce if you're listening, and Benny. And shout out to Philly Bop Productions as well. I wrote that from a real place, which is probably why people are responding, you know, to it, because it was authentic. You know, I wrote about a real experience, so different situations in life, you know, and of course men as well, where we feel, you know, our self-worth is being questioned. by other people or in a relationship, a bad environment, people you work with. I mean, the list goes on. I just wrote that and got my feelings out, and it's very therapeutic for me to really just kind of tap into that, and then also to want it to be something to really empower people, especially women. I wanted to empower women to say, you don't have to take that. You don't no, you're worthy. You're a queen. And that's why, I affectionately tell people and I refer to my other sisters that, we are queens, because I want you to know and to remind yourself. That's why this song, it means so much to me, because it's a reminder to myself and for women out there that we are worthy and we deserve the best. And there's nothing wrong with saying that or demanding that, because I believe what you put out there is what you will attract.
Ooh, ladies first.
Any words of inspiration to any upcoming artists?
Just believe in yourself and keep pressing. And it is tough. Don't let nobody lie to you, make you think that it's all rosy. It's not. And you have to find people that believe in what you're doing and will support you. And they may come few and far between, but you definitely have to use discernment, and you need to make certain that you follow your dreams.
Always being rooted in your why, because there are going to be things that are going to push up against you, and whether it's people or life or what have you. And if you can just know your why, then as things shift and move, that is a constant. And no one else has to get it. No one else has to understand it, but it's like, just lean in and be certain of that for yourself. And, to me, like, success is not necessarily like the end goal. Success to me is the process, the process of me changing, the process of me developing confidence, the process of me cultivating relationships with people. And I think that's the other thing, is knowing that, like, you can't get through really life without relationships.
Having a team of people, or even a few chosen that really believe in you, like, you're ride or die, really.
Right.
That are down for you, what you're doing. They really believe in you, not just in words, but in actions. And, they really are supporting you.
Yeah.
And again, that coupled with finding advocates and other partners and people and other sisters like my Megs and my big sis Mary, and people that really love on you and it's genuine. That support system is important.
Be through thick and thin, a friendship that will never end. When you are weak, I will be strong, helping you to carry on. Call on me, I will be there. Don't be afraid. Please believe me when I say, count on, count on, count on, count on, count on, count on, count on me. My sugar is gone. I miss him every day.